Hello and welcome to the Fit Executive Show. Your host, Arne Wildner, lost 50 pounds himself before helping hundreds of other entrepreneurs and executives sustainably lose weight and take charge of their health. In the Fit Executive Show, you'll learn field-tested weight loss strategies and how to effectively juggle your successful life and staying fit at the same time. Please welcome your host, Arne Wildner. Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of the Fit Executive Show. I am half of your hosting team, Grace. The conversation you are about to hear is worth listening to. It is insane, the transformation that our client Stan has had while working with us, and I am honored to be able to publish this episode where Arne and Stan have a good old chat about where he started, where we helped him get to, and they dig deep. Actually, they speak eating disorders, they talk about bicep curls. Stan is from Manitoba. He's a successful entrepreneur with a family, a wife. He's an all-around awesome guy, and a lot of our clients and the people we speak to will definitely see themselves in Stan when they listen to this episode or watch it. Even better, I'm also shooting this intro just to remind you that the video is available. Please open up the Spotify app, watch the video, open up YouTube, search for The Fit Executive Show by Arne Wildner and watch this. It's episode 23 and we share a lot of visuals. Arne actually screen shares and shows Stan's before and afters and his DEXA scan. It is just absolutely jaw-dropping. So again, I'm honored to be able to publish this massive transformation that we've been able to help Stan with. And I definitely feel like we cannot take credit for this. Stan did the work here, but we're just pleased to share this. So without further ado, here are Arne and Stan.
Welcome to the Fit Executive Show. Thank you for hopping on with us today and sharing your story. So, yeah, would you mind introducing yourself?
Okay. Yeah. So, Stan is my name. And I live just outside of Winnipeg in Oak Bank, Manitoba. I'm an entrepreneur. I own a business in the construction space. We specialize in helical pile foundations. And awesome. I'm a husband. I'm a father. So I live here with my wife, Sandy. We've been married almost 15 years now. And we've got my two boys, 12 and 10-year-old boys. And then we've got Jersey, the crazy dog who's, I don't know, but just over a year old.
What kind of dog?
He's a golden doodle.
Golden doodle.
But he's
1
black.
year old golden doodle. That means trouble.
Yeah, but he's an amazing dog. He's unbelievable. Yeah, he's actually like, I don't know. He's very much a puppy, but at the same time, he's like an old soul.
Yeah. Oh, that's cute. Yeah, our dog is like the complete opposite. Sleeps all day, but then wakes up to play. It's the best. Thank you again for hopping on. I've prepared a little document. Let's have some fun with this. So here we go. First of all, this is so impressive, right? So this transformation. This was you in summer?
Yeah, that was like
early summer?
I think like third week of June or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, you got a good tan over the summer.
A little bit. Yeah. It wasn't as reluctant to take my shirt off as I might have been previously this summer.
Yeah. No, go for it, man. You deserve it. So this is the transformation. Looking at your numbers, so this was one of my favorite wins that came across. It definitely makes you a good candidate for the Fit Executive of the Year. The transformation has been very inspiring. Also, the way you showed up, Stan, like day after day, week after week, this consistency, this work ethic has been outstanding. But yeah, you did a DEXA scan. So the first one was in 2023, right? So you were around 20% body fat. But this is also what you came to us with, like the body fat percentage that you came to us in June. So not too much change. But the initial one was around 20% body fat. And we can actually, I think we can go back to this one here. So do have the larger image here, just to go in our mastermind in the wins channel. It must be somewhere down here. Just like to pull it up on a larger scale. Those are the latest client wins. I'm not sure if here. This is one of your referrals, by the way. Big progress from Scott. Oh no, this is different. No, this is a different
Scott.
Different Scott, but no, Tom is not referred from you. He's from Doug, but no, I know that your referrals are crushing it too. I just want to show the DEXA scan because there are some interesting numbers that I didn't get here. Where are we? Chad is seeing his apps. I think we're getting closer. Nutrition. Here we go. Here is the original post. So I just want to enlarge this one here because I think it's super interesting to look at the numbers more closely. So basically, you went from, and this is the funny part. You didn't lose much weight, right? And
No,
maybe that's a surprising fact.
even gained. Yeah.
You gained weight,
Yeah.
but you dropped your fat mass from 40%, 40 pounds to 24 pounds. So you dropped around 16 point, oh no, not around, you dropped precisely 16.2 pounds of body fat. But at the same time, you gained 16.8 pounds so of lean mass. And this
Mm.
is insane. And this is also what these progress pictures reflect, right? But you were not always like this. Would you mind sharing a little bit of your history? Who's this guy here?
Yeah. Yeah, that's 2017. Yeah, I think that was the picture there that, you know, it was unfortunate that was actually published online. So I used to be a dealer for a company called Post-Tech Screw Piles, and we went to the annual meeting, and we were asked to, do some biopics that they would use on the website. So
Yeah.
if you chose, the Winnipeg location, then this picture would pop up. And when I saw the picture, I just went, oh, fuck. I need to do something. So yeah, that's when I
This is
started
how my
kind of.
transformation started. So sorry to interrupt, but
Okay.
I saw myself on a picture where I was 50 pounds overweight, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is insane. But it just shows us that you're not special in terms of genetics or anything. You had, yeah, just a very
Opposite
busy
of that, man.
lifestyle. Yeah,
Opposite. Like, I mean, in terms of genetics, I think that my genetics are just fine. But
yeah.
the image that I always had for myself was that, like, even as a kid growing up, I struggled with the weight quite a bit. And, you know, my mom would just call me husky, right? Oh, you're just husky. And that became my identity. And I really thought, like, whereas my brother, he was like high level hockey. He was always in good shape, never really struggled the way that I did. And, you could see his abs, come high school kind of thing, right? And I was just, for me, it was like, well, that's just not, I didn't get that gene, right? Like, so yeah, it became my identity. Like, just, I never imagined that I could actually look the way that I look today. Like, it blows my mind. That image was never something that I thought was ever could be a reality. Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of can really relate to this as, yeah, I always saw myself as a fit guy growing up, but I was never seeing my abs. And then slowly but surely, as I got more responsibility in life professionally, I spent more time sitting around entertaining clients, with a good German beer in my hand as well. And then over the years, slowly but surely, like 1 pound after the other. And then it happens so quickly, right? It happens so quickly, especially if you have a family to take care of, especially if you are running a business, growing a business, scaling a business. You sometimes forget about yourself, right? But you had some ambitious goals when you started with us. So dropping the body fat to 15. Well, I think we are at the DEXA scan set. What did it say?
Yeah, I think,
12%, 12.4. I think
yeah.
that's pretty accurate when we look at the picture here. This is like a good 12%. Did you make further progress this is a couple of weeks old?
Yeah, actually, like, I've, since I think like September 22nd or something was sort of my 90-day mark. And, leaving after the 90 days, I've increased the calories that I've been taking in but not by a lot, but by a little bit. And what I'm actually, and I've been traveling like a fiend. And, it's really interesting. Just, I haven't been counting the calories in the way that I was during the 90 days, but like how much I've actually learned by just being aware of everything for those 90 days just allows me to now like just be aware. And yeah, I stepped on the scale most recently as 195.8 pounds. And I think like with the DEXA scan, I think it had me at like 200.5 or something like that. But, I had some pants on. So, I think I was actually around 198 or something like that, September 22nd.
Yeah.
And I'm down like 2.5 pounds after traveling and all that. And I, in terms of like my weightlifting, I'm actually breaking personal records every week.
Nice one.
So I'm getting stronger and I've lost some further weight. So, although I haven't done measurements recently, I'm looking better in the mirror than I was in that picture that you saw. And feeling really good.
Awesome. Yeah. So, and the impressive part there is that you integrated it so well into your life. So, but I would be super curious to see the measurements here. So we had the
Totally.
80 centimeters, 80.1 end of September. So now it's a month later. We're in the middle of October. So I would be super curious to know that number. If you can send this to me, that would be neat. But yeah, those numbers here, body fat 50%, crushed it, muscle mass up by 10% or more, crushed it. But this is like the softer goals, right? So I have developed new, effective, efficient, and enjoyable lifestyle that gives me confidence that my current state of health, fitness, and energy is now the minimum bar for myself, that I can still improve, but that I won't regress. My boys have also seen gains in their fitness and health. And then those top 3 goals here, I want to feel great and capable of tackling anything I put my mind to. I want to make a positive impression on my boys, which will help them to also feel great and capable of tackling anything they put their mind to. And number 3 is the benefits of health and fitness will be passed on to future generations. Talk a little bit about this, please.
Yeah. I mean, I just, I don't want my boys to have to struggle the way that I struggled with health and just I want them to understand how to eat. I want them to understand what, that their physical appearance, I think in many respects, is a reflection of how much you love yourself. Right. And it's funny because like I also want them to achieve that in a healthy way. Where previously for me, I've, the story here is, you see that picture of me in June, right? And, I definitely look a lot better in that picture than I do in that 2017 picture.
Yeah, for sure.
But that being said, the way that I lost that initial weight, some of it was healthy, but some of it wasn't. So, I was struggling with an eating disorder, and I was bulimic, and I sort of confronted that maybe about just over a year ago, but it was still an issue for me, going into May. So like late May would have been probably around the last time that I might have, purged. They were happening few and far between at that point, but it would have been like late May. So what's really cool and what I want to pass on to my boys is the formula that you've shared with me on how to achieve, health and fitness in not an extreme way, in just by embracing a lifestyle that sort of gets you there, right? And you do it for the love of for self-love,
Yeah.
right? That's what I mean by, changing the next generation. I think that for me, it was really difficult, and I've struggled my whole life with my appearance and with, anxiety related eating, and then anxiety related purging and those sorts of things. So I don't want my boys to have to deal with that. And the other thing is, like, every time someone would comment on, hey, Stan, you're looking amazing or something like that, when you're in that place where you're relying on something like purging after binge eating or something like that, it every time someone gives you a comment, it actually sort of like reinforces this feeling of being a fraud. And now when people say, Stan, you're looking amazing, I can just be like, thank you, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And I can just, and a lot of people are just like, what are you doing? What's working for you, right?
Yeah.
Whereas before I could say, oh, I'm doing this and that, but I'm also, there's a bunch of stuff I'm not telling you about. So now when someone, gives me a compliment, I'm able to actually accept it. And it sort of feeds my confidence and feeds my self-love. Whereas before it was quite the opposite. Yeah.
Yeah. Now your kids, I love this one. You sent me 2 messages. We're gonna
They
go
can
over the other
definitely
one.
see they see my abs way more than I do, apparently. But yeah, they're kind of in there a little bit. You can see that definition.
Yeah. No, do they call you Superman, or do they say like, hey, if he's in a fight with my friend's dad, he's gonna crush this guy, or what are they saying? Like, how did they take it, this transformation?
I think they're pretty inspired by it themselves. Like they're eating a lot better as well. They're more active. Like we actually I've been waking them up early and taking them outside for, a walk / jog. So we do sort of like intervals, and we bring the dog and stuff like that. And yeah, they've really enjoyed it. And in fact, like my oldest actually asked my wife if I was sick. And she goes, oh, what do you mean? And he goes, well, like, he's like wants to like take us out in the morning, and like, he's spending all this time with us and teaching us these things. He's doing all these different things. Like what happened? Like, is there something wrong with him that he's changed? And really it's just, I've been moving. I've been, like trying to maximize my NEAT, and I'm bringing them along with me. And, I'm not at all sick, quite the opposite. Right. This is actually, it's me in a healthy place.
Yeah.
And it's actually like making me a better dad to them.
Yeah.
And it's throwing them for a little bit of a loop, which is a good thing. I take that as a big compliment, actually, when he asked my wife that.
But this one was also one of my favorites, right? The
amazing
steak picture here. So for those who listen on Spotify or iTunes, so there's a picture with a big steak dinner and a salad next to it. Are those chickpeas up here? Yeah. And then the message says, got home from my workout this evening, and my 12 and 10-year-old boys had taken their bikes to the grocery store and bought steaks and sweet potatoes, then went into our garden to grab veggies for a Caesar salad and surprised my wife and I with an anniversary dinner. They said, Dad, this should be a good meal for how we are eating.
Yeah. Keyword being we.
Isn't
so that cool?
Yeah, this message.
Yeah.
And I then asked you, hey, did they hit the core temperature? And you were like, yep, they they hit the core temperature as well. So amazing, phenomenal. Yeah. So I think you can be so proud of yourself, because those hard goals, this is just a matter of time, right? But this is like, you can't fake this. You can't fake transferring this mindset, this lifestyle, this identity shift onto your environment. You also inspired a couple of other business owners, right, that you sent our way. I think 3 referrals so far. So thank you for that again. But this, like the impact that it has had on your kids and on their kids. So I think this this passing on this lifestyle to future generations, this is the biggest gift that you could have given to the world, because it's going to have a ripple effect. Their kids are going to do the same. They are going to inspire other kids and adults at some point, right? So it has a ripple effect. This is so awesome, Stan, and I want to thank you for the hard work that you put into this. Now, the review, this is, yeah, another one. So you've said you've been like a you soaked up like a sponge every bit of information that you could get around fitness, nutrition, lifestyle optimizations, biohacking, stuff like that, right? So you're a very ambitious learner. But then, yeah, please help me interpret this review.
Yeah, I think, I mean, I'm I'm someone who really loves to learn new
Yeah,
shit and try new things out and
yeah, yeah.
take on challenges, those sorts of things. I think the biggest thing that I got out of working with you, Arnie, is that you've really gone and done a real good deep dive
Mm,
into this world of health and fitness. And I think, what in hindsight, when I look at it, like, before working with you, there was all this knowledge and information out there that I've,
mm,
absorbed and looked into, but a lot of it's also like really good marketing, and really good marketing tells you that there's something wrong with you
mhm,
and that they have the answer, and you
mhm,
just need to, pay them some money and the magic is yours, kind of thing, right? So trying to figure out what's real and what's not real is
mm,
actually not very easy to do. I
mm,
don't think
mm.
I'm a stupid person. I'm pretty
Yeah,
smart overall, but I think
yeah,
that I was like just, overloaded with all of this information and
yeah,
not really knowing what moved the needle. So
yeah,
what I
yeah, yeah.
really appreciate about working with you is that, you've done the research and the deep diving, and you've kind of
Mm,
cut through what's the bullshit and what's the simple truth,
mhm,
and you've shared that. And
mhm,
and in doing so, like I in the past I've done stuff like keto. I've even tried a little bit of carnivore, like different things, like they're
mm,
really
mm,
extreme things to
mm,
do.
mm, mm.
They're very hard to sustain.
I know.
You do see some results for sure, but you know, I think that nothing that I've done previously, including doing keto or, like I said in this review, hitting Orange Theory so hard that,
Mm,
I end up with tinnitus in my ears and I can hardly hear right for 30 minutes after my workout because
uh,
I've overstressed myself. Even in doing things like that, I've seen more results with your approach, which feels casual
yeah,
in so many respects. Yeah,
yeah,
it feels natural
uh-huh,
and casual. It feels like this is just how we should be eating, and
yeah,
that, really nothing's off limits in terms of the foods that are out there, but moderation is, of course, important, and just like honoring your body by, just sort of ensuring that you're not overindulging in certain things, and giving your body what it really needs, which is,
yeah,
for me anyways, is definitely the protein. The
mm,
increased
mm,
protein, I think, made
mm,
a huge
mm,
difference.
mm, mm.
you know yeah. And if you're and how satiating that high protein diet is,
Yeah,
like, really makes it easy,
yeah,
because you're not hungry, right?
yeah,
So,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
and oftentimes I actually I find myself like going, you know what, I should have a little bit more to eat
mm,
today.
mm, mm,
So I was finding during the 90 days I was actually consistently sort of below my calorie count, and then sort of being like, well, I don't want to, like, not give myself enough fuel. So I would actually sometimes force myself to eat. during the 90 days. Yeah.
Yeah. But one interesting thing that you mentioned earlier, like what exactly were your doubts and your hesitations before joining Fit Executive Co?
Well, I mean, I think that like previously, I think it was just that like if I couldn't do it on my own, I was a failure,
Hmm.
and that by, you know, hiring someone to help me,
Hmm.
I was, I maybe that I felt like, I was cheating or something like that.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
had this stupid idea that I should have to do everything on my own,
Hmm. Hmm.
and that I should be driving it, and that, whatever I come up with is going to be right for me, and no one else knows what's right for me. I think it was, it's not sensible, and I say it all the time that, asking for help is not a sign of weakness. It's a understanding of strength.
Yeah.
And, but I haven't always lived that. Right. And I
Yeah.
think that reaching out to you, in fact, actually, I think someone from your team reached out to me, and it was just at the right time. And I thought, you know what, I think I'm ready to hire a coach and spend some money too, because I think that actually oddly enough, giving you a few $1,000s
Yeah.
was also, like motivation to not just
Yeah.
like, flush it down a toilet either, right? So
Exactly.
there was
Yeah.
definitely some, like monetary commitment as well as
Yeah.
emotional commitment at the same
Skin in the
time.
game. You
Totally.
put skin in the game, and if you don't pay, you don't pay attention. This is why all these cheap
Mhm.
solutions just don't work. Like if you can laugh about this, if your coach costs less than your car payment, right? It's ridiculous. You're not gonna take it seriously. And you got to put your money where your mouth is. And yeah, no, because also if you don't get help figuring this out on your own, it takes years, or if you ever get there, right? Just having a proven system and this clarity, this peace of mind. Hey, I can trust this process because I've seen it time and time again with these guys. They've produced results. And all I have to do is listen, execute, show up, and then it's just a matter of time. Obviously, it has to be tweaked and it has to be customized as we go. But yeah, you just showed up and you executed. And this is a master strength of you, that you are able to listen to mentors who've done it themselves and who've replicated their own success with hundreds of other guys in a similar situation like you, right? So this is, yeah, I like the last words here. In fact, it's enjoyable. So would you
Mhm.
say that this is a sustainable solution for you, that you can sustain this lifestyle? Is it enjoyable still?
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I said, since September 22nd, I kind of I determined I was just going to give myself a bit of a mental rest, right?
Mhm.
And just continue, implementing everything that I've learned into my lifestyle. So it has become a
Mhm.
lifestyle. So what's really cool is like, yeah, absolutely. Is it sustainable? 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't feel like I'm making massive sacrifices or anything like that, and I'm still seeing gains. I'm winning this month
Yeah.
without,
Yeah.
being a part of this transformation. Like I'm outside of the transformation period, but like just living this lifestyle and continuing to see benefit.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a real coach. Me and my team, to like for our clients to become their own coach, to walk
Mm.
away with a system that they can operate on their own. And again, you're just a prime example of how yeah, how you can make this work. Now, a couple of highlights here from the gym, the 100-pound biceps curls. Where are you now with those numbers? These are from, I think, August as well. So
Yeah, I think maybe that in August when I was doing the 100-pound bicep curls, I maybe was using a bit of momentum to move
yeah, I gave you
those.
some corrections there.
Today I'm using way less momentum.
Okay,
I'm
great.
actually I reduced my weight after
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
and I
good,
just,
good.
I went with better technique
Yes,
and full range motion, that sort of
yes,
thing, less
yes.
momentum.
Okay, good.
I'm back to 100 pounds
Okay, awesome.
now. Yeah.
Yeah.
And, like, I think it's, I might be like, I think this week I got, 9 reps in my
Okay,
first set and maybe like 8 in my second. So,
love it.
I feel good about that because those were all like properly
Clean.
done and
Yeah.
yeah,
Quality reps. Awesome.
yeah.
Then we have the deadlift. You just sent me the form here was fantastic, by the way. As far as I remember, you just sent me a new PR message.
Yeah. Yeah,
365 times
same
14. This is
weight. Recently got in 14 reps and again like good form. My back's not sore afterwards or anything
yeah.
like that. So yeah, I
You
feel
must
good
be
about
running
that.
out of space on the bar.
Oh no, there's
No,
still
you
some
still have?
space.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then please erase the weight. Especially with the deadlift, it's pretty taxing on your nervous system as well. So you want to stay in the lower rep ranges. 6 to 8 reps is a healthy range for your joints. And that way you will be able to grow even further. Then we have the dumbbell reverse side. I just had these pictures in here because like it shows your work ethic, but it also shows your physique in action. This is like such a cool picture as well. Like, well,
Angry bird.
any final words before we go our ways?
No, I mean I'm really I feel really fortunate that you know I found you and connected with you, and
Same
I
here.
feel excited that I invested in
Yeah.
working with you. And yeah, I'd highly recommend anyone who if my story resonates with them that they reach out and have a chat with you and just see if it's a fit. I mean, one of the other things that I really appreciated was just you're not a pressure salesperson. You're just working with someone to see if they're at the right point in their life right now where it makes sense for you guys to work together. And
Yeah.
if that's where they're at, then great. Let's do this. I'm excited to move forward with you. And if you're not there, then hey, I'll be around when you're ready.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was really your sort of your attitude. I never felt like sort of pressured into doing anything or anything like that. So just happy
Thank
that
you.
I did jump in with you. And yeah, I've also like I don't know. I feel like a friendship has developed as
Yeah.
well in
Yes.
so many ways. So like I
Yes.
just really appreciate having a new friend as well, especially
Yeah.
one that knows as much as he knows about health and fitness.
Have a great day and see you
You too,
soon.
Arnie. All
Bye.
right, brother.
And that's it for today's show. Thank you for spending your valuable time with us. If you want to lose weight but don't want to do it all by yourself, go to arniewildner.com/call and book an appointment for a free 15-minute phone call with us where we'll look at your situation, your obstacles, and your goals to find out if and how we can help you.